Howdy y'all, my name is Doe, hope we're doing good, and in this video I want to discuss the repeaters and a build I've been using in Umbral Escalation, and it can also be used in a lot of hunts. It's a lot of fun, I've been enjoying it, and I hope you guys will too. So, before getting into that, I want to discuss some things about repeaters, and I'll probably discuss it a bit afterwards as well, and I'll probably make another video on it because it's important. But, people keep saying repeaters aren't good, and the people saying it aren't good themselves, and no one can understand that, right? Like, repeaters have problems. No one's like disagreeing with that, right? If you bring up what's wrong with repeaters, all folks are gonna say is like, yeah, we know. All right, bud, we understand. We've been here for a while. We know the problems, but what do you want me to do? Learn how to code and fix it myself? I don't know how. But people keep saying they're bad, and it's annoying since you have players that don't really know what they're doing, and they get told this, and they're like, oh, they're bad, okay. Now, I say they're bad, but it's in certain context. Okay, like I said, there's a context to it. They're bad in certain ways. The weapon itself, though, is good. It does work. It's fun to play. So I just want to put that out there in case anyone's going like, I want to play repeaters, but people say they're bad, so they must be bad. No, they're good. All you have to know, they're basically shotguns. They're not snipers. All right, it's not a Barrett 50 cal. All right, you ain't playing a sniper in Call of Duty, so back it up. If you compare it to other weapons, it's not going to be as great compared to strikers, but nothing is. Anyway. That out of the way, the build I'm using uses the Austin Yeeters, because, I don't know, it's a freaking repeaters build, and the modifications that I'm using are the Dawnstar barrel, it's a radiant barrel. The chamber I'm using is full bore chamber. This is a very solid pick in Umbral Escalation. There's a downside though, and that is that if you're empowered, which is what you should be doing all the time, preferably, when you shoot this chamber, it knocks you backwards. That is rough because you can't look behind you during this process because it's hard to know what's behind you all the time. So you can get pushed back into things like Shroud Goop, maybe Scrave Mines. You can basically wind up in a situation where you'll probably die for using the chamber occasionally. So, long story short, try and know what's behind you, which is hard to do, but I guess try your best. That's all I can really say. The grip is Captain's Grip, more attack speed, always great to have. This is the best grip, hands down. Saptor's Grip is okay. I would only use it if you have another repeaters player in the group that is using Captain's Grip and you think that they're really good at keep maintaining the buff consistently. That's the only time I would use Saptor's Grip personally. Now, the modifier is Tactician's Magazine. Again, very good modifier, and probably the best one for using with the full bore chamber. And empowered reloading at exactly 0 ammo decreases the cooldown of both abilities by 4 seconds. Very strong thing here. There are some downsides, but it's mostly just repeaters have some really strange empowered reload hitboxes sometimes, but that's more like the weapon, not the modifier. Anyway, great modifier. It's so much fun too. When you have like a lot of attack speed, it makes the modifier like just so visibly clear it's there because your cooldowns are 3 seconds instead of whatever they are currently because you're just firing so fast. But the prism is searing. This is just a Hellion proc in the form of a prism. So dealing damage in a row, like 10 hits in this case, the 10th hit deals 225 damage and major blaze damage. Very strong prism to have here. It is the best prism at the moment. It outweighs the other ones, trust me. Now, in saying all that, play what you want is what I'm playing though. I feel like I should make that disclaimer more often. For the armor, this is going to be a low life build. What that means is you'll be playing at either half or slightly below half health all the time. You will never go past half health in this build because you have a cell that prevents that. Now, for my headpiece, I've got the Dark Watch from Shrewd and also the chest piece. I've got the Malkarian gloves and the Koshai feet. So the head and chest have rage and power slots. The gloves and feet have Predator, with the gloves having technique slots and the feet having utility slots. These are really good slots to have on repeaters. And one annoying thing though is that I wish the weapon itself had a stat and you could change out the slot. I just like realized that, but this build could be so much cooler if I just had more, I guess, more uniqueness to it. If I could just have a stat on the weapon and not have a mobility slot that I don't even really use. The lantern I'm using is the Drast Lantern. It's my personal preference. Use whatever lantern you want to use. Another good option is going to be Immermain, but it's all preference. Use whatever you want to use. For potions, I'm using the Aether Tonics, Blitz Tonics, and Frigid Tonics. Blitz and Frenzy are staples for repeaters. You always, always, always use these. They're very strong. Aether Drive is actually not working, so I'm going to go ahead and swap that out for a Conch Grenade, because I'd rather have something that works than have something that doesn't work. And this will actually help out because I didn't know that Aether Drive was broken until recently, which is a bummer, and hopefully they fix it soon. But Conch Grenades are going to help me out because this is my only way to interrupt outside of some amps in Umbral Escalation, which is why repeaters are fun. In Umbral Escalation, you have some ways to interrupt, which they're RNG to get these, like, I guess, ways to interrupt, but they're really fun. Now, I'll go into those in a second, but the perks I get, the perks I have, my lord, are pluck. I'm a turkey dude. Freaking based me, brother. The perks I have are +6 Catalyst, Predator, and Rage, with +3 Berserker, Discipline, Fleet-Footed, and Overpower and Wild Frenzy. If you do not like Catalyst, which is a very strong sell, but there's a downside to having you use tonics all the time, then I suggest using Conduit. Very easy to swap this out. You legit click on the feat, select the feat, change out for Conduit, select the Lantern, change out for Conduit, and then boom. It's the same build, but now you have Conduit instead of Catalyst. I prefer Catalyst if I have potions to spend, and Catalyst, I suggest using it if your goal is to like see how crazy things can get, because Catalyst is the best utility cell. I'm not saying that to say it, it's true. So if you want to see how crazy things can get, use that cell. If you're doing trials, you want to go for a fast time, use Catalyst. Those are the reasons why I suggest using it. If you're trying to get like a sub 3, or if you're trying to go for flawless, use Catalyst. If you're doing anything else, maybe consider not using it because Catalyst uses tonics. Tonics are expensive. You might want to be more more sparing or sparring of your money. I need to really buy a dictionary and look up bigger words. Like, my vocabulary needs to expand a little bit. But yeah, Catalyst, extra damage, Predator, more damage, Rage, damage, all damage, Berserker, damage. Discipline makes Rage active. That's always nice to have. Should I explain this stuff more? Man, build videos are getting to the point where, like, I'm just losing my mind. All right, I'll be better at explaining. Catalyst, 60% tonic effectiveness and duration. Predator, more damage for not getting hit. Rage, more damage for being low life. Berserker, more damage per hit. They stacks up 10 times. Discipline is just if you're half health all the time, you get some crit chance. Crit chance is questionable, but whatever. Fleet-footed is after dodging, gain movement speed. It's actually not the worst thing in the world to have. I wish I could get damage. Like, if I could have a power slot and a technique slot, that'd mean I could have +6 overpower instead of +3, and that would just be so much more damage. That'd make me so happy. But lastly, we have Wild Frenzy, which is, again, more attack speed for being low life. So, very fun stuff. Now, the things that make it so repeaters are pretty fun in Escalation are the amps. And it's mostly one amp in particular. Well, there's multiple amps, but like one amp is like the change from the previous escalations, and that's going to be Shadow Dodge. Dealing damage, you create stacks. Dodging through an attack expends a charge, causing an umbral explosion that can interrupt behemoths. The explosion doesn't do that much damage, but the benefit here is you can dodge the interrupt. And it feels fun, it's very helpful, it is effective. That is the important part here. It's just you have the ability to dodge attacks, do some damage, which isn't a big deal, but you can knock them over, like you can interrupt them. And that makes Overpower in the build very useful. That's why I have Overpower. And Overpower also procs on breaking parts. Repeaters are very good at breaking parts. You can focus whatever you want to focus as long as you're on the... As long as you can like reach it and like you have vision of it, you can hit it. If you're not in Narnia. If you're in Narnia, you're not hitting nothing, bruh. But that is why repeaters are fun. All this stuff. The build's enjoyable. Umbral Escalation is very fun. It's also a great place if you're trying to go for a full flawless escalation run, which is what I want to do. It's a good escalation to do that in. But that is the build, y'all. That is the video. Hopefully you liked it. If you did, make sure to leave a like, comment down below, subscribe to the channel for more content, and use my Epic Games support card code in the Epic Games store. It's OhDough if you want to. Helps me out a ton. And check out my Twitch stream at twitch.tv/OhDough. I stream there pretty often. I don't have a schedule because I'm scuffed. If you want my in-game flair, subscribe on that platform. And other than that, y'all, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.